Ammo for you.
Thanks, soldier.
Ammunition. Use it.
Hi guys, Zombie Rommel here, and today I wanted to lay out what I understand about the bipod after testing it pretty extensively in a server at the spawn here. So the first thing that you'll note, which is fairly obvious, is that whenever you go up to a window ledge, or if you go prone, and you must remain still, you can't move, but if you go up to a window ledge or go prone and you remain still, you will deploy the bipod. Like so. Now, the thing that has been bothering me since the beginning of this beta is that if you immediately begin firing while deploying the bipod, your accuracy is absolutely insanely bad. And I'll go ahead and show these clips in slow-mo momentarily. So here's the first clip slowed down to about 20%. As you see at the start, it kind of goes center, but then it goes all the way to the right side during the second half of the animation. So here's the second half. You can see the bullets deviate from the center over to the right. Here's the second spray. You'll notice a similar thing, except these bullets start to deviate to the left once the muzzle returns to center. And here it is slowed down a little bit more. And in both instances, I'm not moving the mouse at all. I'm just holding down the fire button. So we'll circle back to that, but for now, let's just focus on how the bipod actually works. So what I'm showcasing here is that if you go up to a windowsill and deploy, and then you back away and you remain in a crouch or a crouch sprint, the bipod will remain deployed. You can just go up to a surface and deploy it again without going through that horrific animation. However, and here's the kicker, it's a bit confusing, and I never really understood this until I tested it. If you stand up, you undeploy the bipod. So it's the difference between crouching, staying in a crouch, and standing up fully. If you deploy the bipod and then go into a crouch, like so, the bipod will remain deployed. You can go up to surfaces, you can go prone quickly without that horrific jostling animation. And you'll have zero problems for the most part until you decide to stand up, at which point you will undeploy again. In my opinion, this needs to be fixed in order for the support class to be viable at its intended role, which is suppression and support fire. You have essentially three big main problems plaguing the bipod mechanic as it stands right now. Number one is confusion. When does the bipod deploy? When does it undeploy? Why do I need to go into an almost empty server in the spawn for about 10 minutes to figure out what the hell is going on? Unlike Insurgency and unlike Day of Defeat, Battlefield 5 currently has no dedicated bipod button. What this means is that every deploy and undeploy of the bipod is purely contextual. This wouldn't be a problem per se if the logic underpinning the mechanic were intuitive and easily readable by the player, but as it stands right now, I would argue that's definitely not the case. The second problem, which I alluded to before, is accuracy. Whenever you deploy the bipod for the first time, either on an object surface or when prone, your accuracy goes absolutely crazy. It usually starts off in the center for the first half of the animation, but then deviates to one direction, either left or right. Enough said. Accuracy is a pretty big issue in a game about shooting things. And last but certainly not least, the third issue is view obstruction. So here, we're about a quarter of the way through the bipod deploy animation, and we can still see the enemy in our scope. He's not perfectly centered, but he's there. Now observe that just a few fractions of a second later, my enemy is totally obscured by my scope. WTF, DICE? As if the accuracy penalty and the comically long animation weren't enough, now I can't even see what I'm shooting at. One other thing I almost forgot but would be remiss to mention is this annoying bobble you get whenever you're prone or deployed on a surface and you decide to move left or right just a little bit. Here you see I'm already on the ground deployed and I decide to move as I'm aiming, and the game penalizes me harshly for this. I mean, why? I get that Battlefield 5 is trying to be more realistic than its predecessors, but at the same time, this is just way too much. That's about it, guys. I wanted to lay out my thoughts on the current status of the bipod, which I think it's not good right now. It needs a lot of adjustment. Usually in Battlefield, I'll hop between classes, but I tend to main support, and what I see now is very worrying. I like the fact that bullets of high caliber will be able to rip through the terrain. That's a great change. I like the fact that the support class is the least hindered by the attrition system when it comes to ammo. That's great also. But this bipod is just absolutely killing me. How unintuitive it is, how it completely obstructs your vision, and how it makes your accuracy go to crap. Battlefield is still a relatively fast-paced game, and all these lumbering, laborious, tedious animations, they need to go. They need to be adjusted just a little, to bring this class some more ease of use, quality of life, and just make it more fun to play. So if you guys agree, be sure to like the video, share it, maybe tweet it out to a DICE employee, and let's see what we can get done here. As always, thank you for watching. Zombie Rommel, out.